Live from 2 on your side. This is Channel 2 News Daybreak.
Right now on Daybreak, a dramatic rescue on a snowy Sunday after a hiker falls in Zoar Valley.
Plus, with the Trump administration's tariffs and retaliation from other nations, we'll tell you how that'll affect your wallet.
And the Sabres pick up 2 points and a handful of questions about their toughness.
Good morning, everybody. Coming up on 6 a.m. on this Monday, February 3rd. Thanks for starting your day with us here on Daybreak. Hope you had a nice weekend. I'm Melissa Holmes.
And I'm Pete Gallivan, and we are starting off, as Patrick put it, a little murky this morning.
Yeah, comfortable temperatures, Patrick, but just kind of yucky outside.
Yeah, it's kind of cloudy and a little drippy out there, some drizzle. Temperatures just above freezing now. We had the snow yesterday and then a little freezing rain overnight, so that made kind of a layer of some slickness, if you will, on sidewalks and driveways. So it's a little slippery out there. 33 degrees. Visibility in some spots is lower due to the fog, so there is some foggy conditions out there. 32 in Jamestown, 35 in the Falls, 37 in Dunkirk. Pretty quiet, a little drizzle here and there. For today, it's going to be warmer than it's been. 40 at noon. Low to mid 40s this afternoon. Rain showers are possible mid to late afternoon and likely tonight. As temperatures go the other way, though, that rain will turn to some snow showers overnight and then sharply colder tomorrow. All right, a little slippery out there on the roads. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning to you, Patrick. A lot of fog, yes, some icy spots too. We do have an accident right now in Lancaster, Walden Avenue and Central Avenue. There is also a signal out completely, South Park Avenue and Tiff Street. Use caution at the intersection and treat that as a four-way stop. And a water main break this morning at the intersection of Babcock Street and Elk Street. Buffalo Division of Water will have a crew out there working a little bit later this morning. I think they come in around 7 or 7:30, so we'll keep you posted on that. Here's a live view of what things look like. On the right, you can barely see some taillights. That is the 190 South approaching the South Grand Island Bridge that gets lost in the fog. The 290 East on the right here, this is at Millersport Highway. So a lot of areas of very poor visibility. Not too bad on the 90 East on the right as you head past the Galleria this morning. But again, watch your speed, especially on bridges, overpasses, and on and off ramps. Back to you, Pete and Melissa.
All right, Dave, thanks. We'll check back in with you in a few minutes. Coming up on 6:02 now, and first this morning, a hiker is recovering after falling 150 feet in Zoar Valley.
First responders were called to the nature preserve around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And according to the Gowanda Volunteer Fire Department, the victim from Niagara Falls had to be rescued after slipping and falling down an 150-foot embankment along the Valentine Flats Trail. Rescuers were able to find the person with GPS coordinates, and crews rappelled down to the hiker who suffered an ankle injury.
Also, some developing news this morning. An Amherst Central School District teacher is facing several charges for child exploitation. The district says high school English teacher, 45-year-old Jeffrey Testa, was immediately placed on administrative leave after he was arrested for alleged online misconduct involving a minor. According to New York State Police, Testa is wanted by police in Virginia, and he's waiting to be extradited at the Erie County Holding Center. The district says it's making support resources available for all staff and students. 6:03 now, and there are growing tensions between the U.S. and Canada as new tariffs go into effect. And this morning, we're taking a closer look at what the Trump administration's tariffs and the retaliation from other nations could cost all of you.
Daybreak's Natalie Foss is joining us from the Peace Bridge this morning with some of the details. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning, Melissa and Pete. We've been hearing for the past couple of days how economists are predicting these tariffs are going to affect you at the grocery store, at the furniture store, and even at the gas pump. But here in Western New York, leaders are saying that it might hit us a little bit harder due to our proximity to Canada. Now, leaders gathered on Friday to discuss and to tell the public how these extra costs are going to be passed on to the consumer. One of the points they focused on is our integrated economy here in Western New York, and they're concerned about the strain that these tariffs will put on transnational business partnerships. While most finished goods like furniture are made in the U.S., the raw goods to make them, like lumber, are imported from Canada. Another local company, Rigidized Metals, buys up to 25% of their carbon steel from Canada.
Our largest customer, even last year, bought well over $2 million of product, and that would go up by $500,000. Now, do you think they're going to want to take that? And if they do put in the retaliatory tariffs, no.
Increase in costs in businesses flow down to increased cost to consumers, and that's something we all need to be aware of. We have an incredibly integrated economy. Ask the Sabres, ask the Bills, the number of season ticket holders they have that are Canadian. We cross this border every day.
President Trump continues to maintain that while there will be what he says are some short-term pains, he feels that the U.S. has been, quote, ripped off by virtually every country in the world. He'll meet with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau today for the first time since his inauguration to see if they can try to come to a solution. Live and on your side at the Peace Bridge, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.
Okay, Natalie, thank you. 6:05 on Daybreak, and the Buffalo Zoo is planning to move forward with several projects after getting a $9 million capital grant from New York State. The money was awarded through the Regional Economic and Community Assistance Program. And the money will help fund more than a dozen projects at the zoo aimed at improving safety, animal welfare, and the visitor experience. In a statement, the president of the zoo says the funding will help preserve its historic structures while also making facilities more modern. And another notable restaurant in Buffalo is shutting its doors.
Yeah, Mr. Sizzles says it's going to shut down its location on the west side at the end of the month. They're also stopping construction on that new location in Clarence. This comes after a lawsuit was filed by partial owners of the business last year. The suit accused the partners of neglect, improper conduct, and violating financial duties. The company closed its new Hamburg location in the fall after a state Supreme Court judge issued a stop work order. In a post on social media, they said they will be closing on the last day of the month.
Well, Buffalo Gift Shop will soon be closing its doors after 4 decades in business. The owners of Everything Elmwood have announced that they are retiring and shutting down for good. Customers tell us they're sad to see this neighborhood staple go.
I've lived in the neighborhood since 2006. I've lived in the Elmwood Village since then, and it's devastating. It's such a staple. The family's amazing. They've done such an incredible job, with keeping the store up throughout all of the years, and it's just, we're gonna miss it so much.
Everything in the store is now 50% off. The owners have not announced an exact closing date.
And with warmer temperatures hopefully coming soon, the City of Buffalo's Department of Public Works says it's all hands on deck to deal with potholes. The city's DPW commissioner says crews will be out filling them as soon as the weather allows. And you can help them out too by reporting potholes that need attention by calling 311.
We monitor social media, but our preference is call it into the city. Call it into 311. Get it logged. You'll get a case number. We'll translate it right through our system. We'll get it right to our pothole crew, and we'll get on that. That is the most effective way to get it.
And the DPW commissioner says crews will try to respond within 48 hours as long as the weather cooperates.
It is 6:07. Patrick's up on the roof right now. No potholes up there, right, my friend?
No, but potholes love this weather.
Yeah, the freeze and the thaw.
They can grow and expand, and unfortunately, because of that, you're right, Melissa, big temperature swings from daytime highs and cold overnight lows, followed by a mild day, then a cold day. So yes, it's not ideal weather for the crews. Going to have a lot out in front of them, taking care of all the potholes that might get a little worse this week as temperatures really take big swings. Okay, right now it is just cloudy, a little slippery out there at the bus stop. Some fog too. Wow, the visibility's really dropped here downtown. Other areas are seeing low visibility as well. This afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, rain showers coming in from the north. It'll be rain this afternoon and evening. Overnight tonight, it'll quickly change to snow. Notice tomorrow morning, we go from the 40s down to the 20s, and we're going to stay in the 20s tomorrow, but 40s return by Thursday. And there, by the way, tomorrow there could be a couple of snow showers around. So here's another look at it. 44 today, close to 30 tomorrow and Wednesday, low 40s on Thursday. Thursday is the day to watch, as there could also be some freezing rain and sleet to greet us for the morning drive. Something to watch again for Thursday. And then some snow this weekend, it looks like. Okay, have that full forecast, guys, coming up.
All right, Patrick, thank you. Coming up next on Daybreak, a trio of Western New York puppies get ready for their moment in the spotlight ahead of the Puppy Bowl.
Plus, the Sabres did a lot of good things yesterday, but it's what they didn't do that has a lot of people questioning them this morning.
Maybe they should have just danced. No fighting.
Shoulder arthritis is a common source of shoulder pain and loss of function. Arthritis can result from injury, inflammatory conditions, or simple wear and tear. Symptoms frequently progress slowly, causing inability to use the arm for daily activities and difficulty sleeping. Initial management of shoulder arthritis can include activity modifications, medications, or injections. Shoulder replacement surgery is an excellent procedure for patients who fail conservative treatment. Replacement involves removing the arthritic joint and replacing it with metal and plastic implants. With modern techniques, many patients are able to return home the same day as surgery and return to light activities by 6 weeks, with full activity by 4 to 6 months. If you have shoulder pain or suspect you have shoulder arthritis, schedule an appointment for a clinical evaluation and x-rays of your shoulder.
This Medical Minute segment is sponsored by ECMC.
Welcome back. Coming up on 6:14, let's get another check of the roads with Dave Cash. What's happening, Dave?
Well, good morning to you, Melissa and Pete. We've had an injury accident that's just occurred in Lancaster. A vehicle struck a tree on Two Rod Road between Clinton Street and Glendale Terrace. There is also a minor accident in Lancaster as well at Walden Avenue and Central Avenue. Signal out this morning. Use caution South Park Avenue and Tiff Street. Treat that as a four-way stop, and a water main break. Babcock Street and Elk Street, there are no lane restrictions or anything. Just use caution in the area. You may want to avoid it. They won't have a crew there till a little later this morning. Here is a live view of the 190 north and south through downtown at Elm Street. Heavy, dense fog in spots. It was really bad at the South Grand Island bridges. This is what things look like on the 190 south on the right at the North Grand Island Bridge, and those foggy conditions continue on the 190 into the Falls and into Lewiston this morning. Here's the 90 east at the on-ramp from the 400 on the right, and a little bit better visibility 400 north on the left. This is in between Transit and Union Road. Roads are wet and may be icy, especially on bridges, overpasses, and on and off ramps this morning. And at the airport between now and midnight, no canceled flights in or out of Western New York. Back to you, Pete and Melissa.
All right, sounds good. Dave, thank you. 6:15 now, and hey, make it 3 in a row for the Buffalo Sabres. They took down the Devils at home yesterday, winning 4-3.
Yeah, they've won all of the games of their homestand over the last week. The Sabres got off to a hot start. Goals from Tage Thompson, and then J.J. Peterka and Ryan McLeod in the first period. Jason Zucker added one in the second, and then the Sabres were able to hold on defensively to secure that 4-3 win.
But the big moment of the game was this one. Take a look. Tage Thompson taking an illegal check to the head from Stefan Nason in the third period. Nason was kicked out of the game, and we'll likely hear from the league about this. But social media erupted for what the Sabres players didn't do in response. Not one player on the ice at the time retaliated for that dirty hit. And it was a situation that Captain Rasmus Dahlin addressed after the game.
Probably didn't know who it was. I don't know. We have to work on that. That's a thing that cannot happen again.
Not going to go do something that's going to cost our team a win when you don't know what happened. So I could have dropped my gloves and go try to fight someone, but I'm going to get a 2, a 5, and a 10 for instigating. I'm going to get kicked out of the game. If I respond differently after he hits me after my goal, I'm going to take a penalty, and that's going to cost us possibly. So a lot of the time, the best response is to not do anything. You know, I think it's a little bit different on the Tomer hit. I don't think anyone had a clear view of it. Talking to guys that weren't playing said even the broadcast didn't really catch it till late. You know, so it's easy to say there was no response, but personally, I disagree with that.
All right, good explanation there. The good news is Tage is okay. We will get to see if he's out of practice as early as today, though. The Sabres finish their 4-game homestand tomorrow night against Columbus. And the 67th Annual Grammy Awards were held in LA yesterday. Beyonce won the biggest award of the night, Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter. She's the most awarded and nominated artist in Grammy's history, but this is the first time she won that award. Kendrick Lamar won both Song and Record of the Year for Not Like Us. Sabrina Carpenter won Best Pop Solo Performance for Espresso. And Chappell Roan took home the Grammy for Best New Artist. The Buffalo Philharmonic was up for an award in Best Orchestral Performance category and unfortunately did not take home the Grammy.
I thought Cowboy Carter was last year. I thought she won Grammys for it last year, didn't she?
No, well, she's the other album she didn't. I think you're right. I thought it was a year old. But
yeah. Well, what do I know?
This Chappell Roan, my daughter raves about her. Do you know much about her? Do you listen to her music?
Yeah, I mean, she's all over the radio.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay. She looked like Rapunzel with that hat. Anyway, cool show. All right, rather murky out there, late rain, big temperature swings this week, okay? We're gonna see some mild days, some chilly days, and lots of cold nights too. Freezing rain or sleet is possible Thursday morning for the morning drive. Okay, here's the deal. Buffalo is going to be kind of in between cold and mild. We'll be very near the boundary between the two. Sometimes the cold dips down, then it lifts back north, and then it settles back down again. So that's why we're going to see these temperature swings over the next couple of days. 40s today, rain late tonight. Rain turns to snow briefly, and then tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sun. There could be a few flurries or a snow shower. Temperatures, though, only in the 20s, okay? Pretty quiet out there, outside of some fog, a little bit of drizzle. This snow is going to get here in the form of rain. This will turn over to rain that we see this afternoon and this evening. You'll see that on Future Look as temperatures climb into the 40s. Some rain showers later this afternoon, this evening, and that will quickly switch over to snow. But by the time the cold air gets here, a lot of the moisture is gone. So tomorrow morning, we're down into the 20s, and a couple of snow showers are possible, but it'll be a chillier day compared to today. Mid-40s today, mid-20s tomorrow, okay? And then it cools down again. So for today, there are the 40s for daytime highs, and then for tomorrow, daytime highs only in the 20s. Then we've got to watch the next system Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We may see some snow initially, but it could likely change over to some ice here in the form of either sleet or freezing rain. That could have some impacts on the morning drive. So just a heads up for that. That will change over to rain as we head into the mid to late morning. And then Thursday, kind of a damp day, but that is that icy threat in the morning. Okay. For today, cloudy, drizzle, some light rain late, 44. Tonight down to 25, rain to snow showers. And the long range forecast, cooler tomorrow with a few snow showers. Dry on Wednesday. There is the freezing rain threat Thursday morning for both Buffalo and the Falls. Cooler again on Friday, and then a chance of some snow over the weekend. It may be a little rain and snow mix on Saturday, but we're trending towards maybe all snow. For the south towns in the southern tier, a similar deal. Cooler starting tomorrow, freezing rain early Thursday, changing to rain, and then some snow for the weekend.
Welcome back. 6:23 now on Daybreak, and we're celebrating Western New York and a local rescue that has some dogs in what could be, not could be, is the cutest game of the year.
Sherry, Millie, and Ivy are all playing in the Puppy Bowl. They came from different rescues here to Nickel City Canine Rescue in Williamsville. The rescues work to take care of them and find them all loving homes. The nonprofit is run by volunteers and fosters who have a dedicated mission
to save every single dog we possibly can, to give these dogs a loving home. We're here for the dogs. I can't emphasize enough how adoption really hits home to us.
Who would have thought that we would adopt a dog and then find out that she was going to be in the National Puppy Bowl? Super exciting.
Ivy, Millie, and Sherry have all already been adopted. Nickel City Canine Rescue, that is, has a full list of dogs that are up for adoption on their website. And you can catch the Puppy Bowl on Animal Planet Super Bowl Sunday at 2 o'clock. If you're more of a cat person, some felines also faced off in the Kitten Bowl yesterday locally.
Team Salino took on Team Clyde's in the big game that benefits the 10 Lives Club.
It's honestly everybody that comes out to this thing. It's like you can't even get in that room. It's so crowded. They have 500 viewers right now, so definitely a big pull. Definitely seeing the kittens getting all the love and respect they deserve. So it's a great event.
It's all about getting cats adopted and having fun with the cats, and people just love watching the cats compete.
All right, folks, you know how this is. And the teams also came up with some creative and at times maybe controversial names for the cats, like Catrick Mahomes.
And from the Puppy and Kitten Bowl to the Pro Bowl, 3 Bills were repping Buffalo yesterday in Orlando. James Cook getting some action in during the flag football game. Connor McGovern pushing Peyton Manning for Team AFC during the sled push. And Deion Dawkins putting in the work during tug of war. Not that the score really mattered, but the NFC did come out on top. 6:26 now on Daybreak, and coming up, we are getting ready to go green with St. Patrick's Day only 6 weeks away.
Plus, making sense of the tariffs placed on the U.S. and other nations, what they could mean going forward.
And right now, a live look outside at a very foggy start to your Monday morning, 6:26 and 33 degrees. Stay with us. Daybreak will be right back.
Rooftop Weather is sponsored by Seneca Resorts and Casinos. Nothing else comes close.
Right now on Daybreak, a serious crash in Cheektowaga last night. The details we're getting from the scene.
Plus, the ripple effect from tariffs. We take a look at how they could impact the auto industry.
And a new season of The Voice kicks off tonight. We'll tell you about this local artist who's ready to take the national stage.
Live from 2 on your side, this is Channel 2 News Daybreak.
Good morning, 6:30 now on Monday, February 3rd. I'm Pete Gallivan.
And I'm Melissa Holmes. Thanks for starting your morning with us. Hope you had a nice weekend. We'll get to all of the top stories in just a minute, but first we do want to check on the forecast. A lot going on this morning, Patrick.
It is kind of really quiet, but really soupy out there. Yeah, we've got some fog out there right now. Visibility is still dropping, so we're kind of in that quarter of a mile to half a mile visibility in many spots, and temperatures are close to freezing. Had a little freezing drizzle overnight, so roads, sidewalks, a little slippery. I like slickery today because of that. All right. All is quiet, though, until we get into the afternoon when we bring in some rain showers. So we're starting off near freezing, climb to around 40 at noon, low to mid 40s this afternoon with some rain showers that will change to snow overnight. Quick, maybe a quick coating to an inch, and that's about it. But notice temperatures dropping, and that's what we're going to see this week. Rather murky today, late rain, big temperature swings this week. All right, ups and downs. And the temperature change on Thursday, actually, as precipitation moves in, could lead to some freezing rain and sleet for the Thursday morning commute. A couple days away, but something we're watching. It could be kind of icy on Thursday to start the day. All right, a little slippery out there on the roads, Dave. Hello.
Yeah, good morning to you, Patrick. A couple of accidents in Lancaster this morning. The first one with injuries on Two Rod Road between Clinton Street and Glendale Terrace. That is where a vehicle struck a tree. Then there's a minor crash at Walden Avenue and Central Avenue. Here's a live view of what things look like on Grand Island. Can hardly see the South Grand Island Bridge. No, you can't see it at all. That is on the right would be the 190 South. That traffic coming toward you is on the 190 North, and it stays foggy across Grand Island and up into the Falls this morning. Pretty foggy here too in Amherst, 290 East on the right at Sheridan Harlem to the 90 East-West split. And everything is also a bit foggy, but a little bit better visibility in Cheektowaga. This is the 90 East and West at the 33 merge this morning. As you head out the door, some slick spots, so watch your speed. Back to you, Pete and Melissa.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. 6:32 now on Daybreak, and an investigation's underway into a serious crash in Cheektowaga around 7 o'clock last night. The intersection of Union and Genesee was shut down for more than an hour. The car wound up getting flipped on its side. A second car also suffered a lot of damage. The cause of the crash has not been determined, and still no word on injuries.
2 adults and 8 children are without a home this morning because of a fire. It happened on Rush Avenue in Buffalo's Riverside neighborhood last night. Officials say the fire started in the kitchen on the 2nd floor of the home. Early reports indicate the fire caused about $200,000 worth of damage. 6:33 now, and new tariffs ordered by President Donald Trump on Mexico, Canada, and China are set to go into effect tomorrow. And the tariffs are expected to have a big impact on what Americans pay for everyday goods.
2 on your sides, Andy Payton spent yesterday talking with an expert at the Buffalo Auto Show about how the new orders could also eventually affect the automotive industry.
A lot of industries are going to be impacted by these tariffs, but perhaps where the impact may be felt the most significantly is right here behind the wheel. And that ranges from the way the inside of this car looks to the actual sticker price. Here's a look. For over 120 years, the Buffalo Auto Show has remained consistent.
I mean, we've got everything from practicality to fantasy.
Showcasing some of the finest vehicles the industry has to offer.
Minivans to buses.
But this year, the show comes at a time when the industry's future is the part in question.
I mean, yes, and no question.
It all comes just over 24 hours after President Trump announced major tariffs on countries like Mexico and Canada. two of the biggest suppliers to the U.S. auto industry, with 1 in 5 cars sold in the States being built in the two nations.
Just about everything I've seen now is anywhere from 45 to almost 100 grand just for cars.
A big concern for those in the market like Joel Lee, who tells me he worries these new tariffs could price him out of a new vehicle.
That's a lot of money out of people's pockets, especially when you know what you're not getting a raise.
This tariff isn't going to kick in tomorrow, and the sky's going to fall.
But Paul Stasiak with the auto show says those in the market like Joel need to pump the brakes.
This is not the first time we've had tariffs. It's not the first time they've had taxes.
And that it's the manufacturers who are going to feel this the most.
One thing I will tell every consumer, if they price it too high, they're not going to sell a car.
I'm sure that's something that they were thinking about, knowing
No
that
question.
this tariff could come.
Right after November 6th, they started thinking about it.
Right.
They just didn't know when the announcement was going to be made.
The good news for those like Joel is that these manufacturers work 6 months in advance, so the impact isn't going to be felt all at once.
We're not talking about just today. We're looking down the road. What's the president going to do next?
But it's also a 6-month window that Joel tells me he doesn't want to wait on.
In fact, I'm looking at another car right now. The sticker price that I see now, it's here. I might have to just go out and buy it and be done with it.
On your side, Andy Payton, Channel 2 News.
Now, we do know that President Trump is expected to further discuss the tariffs with leaders from Mexico and Canada today. Meanwhile, Two on Your Side's taking a closer look at what exactly is expected to get pricier. For imports from Mexico, it's now going to cost more to bring in fruits, vegetables, beer, liquor, and electronics. From Canada, potatoes, grain, lumber, and steel prices will likely go up. And President Trump says the tariffs are necessary to fight illegal immigration and the drug trade. Canada and Mexico have already vowed to take retaliatory measures in response. And we know about one of those retaliatory measures already. Ontario is set to remove all American alcohol from government-run liquor shelves. The ban is currently scheduled to go into effect tomorrow. The Liquor Control Board of Ontario controls all alcohol sales to restaurants, bars, and stores in the province. The organization says it will also take U.S. products out of its catalog so other retailers can't order or restock those items.
Well, today, Mayor Austin Tylock will give his State of the City address in North Tonawanda. It's happening at the Riviera Theater and Performing Arts Center at 11:45. Tylock says he plans to talk about the progress the city made last year and then outline his priorities for this coming year. Well, we know who's going to be leading the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade on Delaware Avenue this year.
Father David Richards has been named this year's Grand Marshal. Father David has been a chaplain for the United Irish American Association since 2009, and he says he's proud to represent Buffalo's Irish community.
I just think the beauty of the Irish people emigrating to Buffalo and coming here to settle and take care of so many beautiful things in Buffalo. And so, yeah, it's a great honor.
This year's parade's happening on Sunday, March 16th. It steps off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon from Niagara Square.
A day before our own St. Patrick's birthday.
Right. Patrick's birthday is on St. Patrick's Day, for those of you who don't know. Very appropriate. Hey there, my friend.
Until the age of 10, I thought it was named after me. That's what Mom said.
And from that point on, you insisted it was named after you.
Right. And then the revelation at age 11, like, oh, it's for everyone. All right, good morning, everyone. It is foggy out there this morning, a little slippery with temperatures in the 30s on our way to the low to mid 40s this afternoon. Rain showers are possible later this afternoon and evening. So notice your temperatures today getting into the 40s. Tomorrow morning, we're down into the 20s, and that's where we stay tomorrow. So noticeably colder on your Tuesday with perhaps a few snowflakes around, but again, mainly dry. But yeah, you'll see the temperature swings this week. 40s turn to 20s, 30, then back into the 40s on Thursday with some freezing rain potentially Thursday morning, and then colder on Friday, leading to some snow chances this weekend. So a lot on the weather menu this week for sure. We'll time it out with your 7-day Pete and Melissa coming up.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. Coming up after the break, a rundown of your local headlines, plus a local musician getting his shot in front of the nation as a new season of The Voice premieres tonight.
Welcome back, 6:42 on Daybreak, and we are celebrating Western New York and another local singer ready to be in the national spotlight on The Voice.
Yeah, the new season premieres tonight and will feature a Western New York singer who may seem a little familiar to you because Elliot Hunt, along with Goo Goo Doll Robbie Takak, well, they just put out that Buffalo version of the Bills Mafia anthem, Mr. Brightside.
Destiny is calling me.
That was something I never expected to really be a part of.
And so another voyage begins for a Western New York musician.
There was a snow day last year, and I hate doing nothing. So I was scrolling through my phone and saw that they were doing virtual auditions.
So Elliot thought, why not? What have I got to lose? And he sent in an audition and waited. In the meantime, playing shows with his band A Letter to Elise and spending his days as technical director here at SUNY Niagara's Arts and Media Department. And oh yeah, planning another major life event, something that came into play when he finally got the call from The Voice. You moved your wedding.
Yeah, well, me and my wife moved my wedding. It was a crazy thing. We were actually going in to talk about our bridal shower party. And so my whole family was there, and just as I was pulling in, I got a call from one of the casting directors saying, hey, so we see that you have your wedding on this date. That's when we're going to be filming, so what can you do?
Yeah, at that point, he was walking into the venue planning to tell his family that he got the call, but he was going to turn it down, and it's fine because there would be other opportunities.
And my wife stopped me mid-sentence and said, oh no, we're changing the wedding. You're doing this thing.
And so the adventure began. They pushed the wedding back a few weeks, and while he and Alexandria took this major step, They waited to find out if he was going to take a big leap in his musical career. And the answer was yes.
You have all these artists that come from different backgrounds. I see myself as like the gigging musician who, plays these 3-hour cover shows here, and then the next day you play the acoustic shows, and then you were also surrounded by artists who have never played a gig. They've made music in their bedroom, and they've played the streaming game and all of that. So it was really cool to see how we were all pirates, but in different ways.
Excitement only grew with the success of West Seneca's Sydney Sterlace last season. Elliott says the whole experience pushed his creative boundaries.
For me, that whole experience was crazy because I've never played a gig by myself. I think a stage should be shared, and that whole experience, you're kind of alone through it all.
Alone, except for a little message from home before he took the stage.
There's going to be a little message from Robbie there.
Yeah, they called me up and asked me to do a little video for him, so I was like, give him hell, kid.
He kind of chimed in just before I went up there, and that definitely calmed my nerves.
And another thing that calmed his nerves is that they let him play his guitar as he sang. And then, after his performance,
a lot of tears. You'll see Mr. Hunt comes in because, they fly your family down.
Yeah.
And, we broke down too many times.
Yeah, so tears of joy, tears of disappointment. You'll just have to tune into The Voice this season to find out. And we still aren't sure if he's going to be on tonight's premiere or next week. But once again, another example of the amazing talent we have right here in the 716.
Yes, Sydney Sterlace, Canemy Clooney, Joshua Vicanti, and now Elliott Hunt on The Voice. So we will have to tune in and see.
Yeah, go get him, kid, as Robbie would say. Time now to check in with Dave Cash and see how the ride to work is looking this morning. Hey, Dave.
Good morning to you, Pete and Melissa. We do have an injury accident still in place in Lancaster where a vehicle struck a tree on Two Rod Road between Clinton Street and Glendale Terrace. And there is a water main break at Babcock Street and Elk Street. No crew on the scene yet, but they should be there within the hour to start working there, and we'll likely have lane restrictions in place. Now I'm going to show you what I feel like when I wake up at 3:45 in the morning. Very foggy. This is the 190 at Niagara Falls Boulevard in Niagara Falls right now. Can't see much at all here or across Grand Island this morning as well. A little bit better here. This is the 219 North on the left at Southwestern Boulevard. Quick peek at the 190 South at Niagara Street here in downtown Buffalo. This has actually improved over the last half hour or so, but much better visibility 90 East as you head past the Galleria on the right. And tomorrow night they'll be doing overhead sign inspections 9 to 3 both directions on the 33 from Humboldt Parkway to Bailey Avenue. Back to you, Pete and Melissa.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. 6:47 now on Daybreak, and time for the stories you need to start your day. First this morning, a hiker is recovering after falling 150 feet in Zoar Valley.
First responders were called to the nature preserve around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. According to the Gowanda Volunteer Fire Department, the victim, who was from Niagara Falls, had to be rescued after slipping and falling down that 150-foot embankment along the Valentine Flats Trail. Rescuers were able to find that hiker with GPS. Crews rappelled down to get the hiker, who did suffer an ankle injury.
An Amherst Central School District teacher is facing several charges for child exploitation. The district says the high school English teacher, 45-year-old Jeffrey Testa, was immediately placed on administrative leave after he was arrested for alleged online misconduct involving a minor. According to New York State Police, Testa is wanted by police in Virginia, and he's awaiting extradition at the Erie County Holding Center. The district says it's making support resources available for all staff and students.
6:48 now on Daybreak, and there are growing tensions between the U.S. and Canada as new tariffs go into effect.
And this morning we're taking a closer look at what the Trump administration tariffs and the retaliation from other countries could cost you. Daybreak's Natalie Foss is live at the Peace Bridge with the details. Good morning, Natalie.
Pete, Melissa, good morning. Economists around the country are looking into how this is going to affect you at the grocery store or at the gas pump or even at the furniture store. But here in Western New York, leaders are saying that it could affect us a little bit more due to our proximity to Canada. Leaders joined together on Friday to discuss and tell the public how these extra costs are going to be passed on to the consumer. One of the points they focused on is our integrated economy and concerned about the strain that the tariffs will put on transnational business partnerships. While most finished goods like furniture are made in the U.S., the raw goods to make them, like lumber, are imported from Canada. Other local businesses, like Rigidized Metals, buys up to 25% of their carbon steel from Canada. President Trump continues to say that the Americans are going to feel short-term pains, but he says that he feels that we've been ripped off by other countries before. He's going to meet with the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, today to see if they can come to a solution. Live and on your side at the Peace Bridge, Natalie Fast, Channel 2 News.
Natalie, thank you. The Buffalo Zoo is moving forward with several projects after getting a $9 million capital grant from New York State. The money will help fund more than a dozen projects aimed at improving safety, animal welfare, and the visitor experience.
Popular restaurant Mr. Sizzle says it's shutting down its location on the west side at the end of the month. They're also stopping construction on the new Clarence location. It comes after a lawsuit was filed by partial owners of the business last year. In a post on social media, the business says its last day will be the 27th.
And a Buffalo gift shop will soon be closing its doors after 4 decades in business. The owners of Everything Elmwood have announced that they're retiring and shutting down for good. Everything in the store is now 50% off. The owners haven't announced an exact closing date yet.
The City of Buffalo's Department of Public Works says it's all hands on deck to deal with potholes. DPW Commissioner Nate Martin says crews will be out filling them as soon as the weather allows, and you can help them out by reporting potholes that need attention by calling 311.
The Sabres took down the New Jersey Devils yesterday at home, winning 4-3. They've won each of their homestand games over the last week. The Sabres got off to a hot start with goals from Tage Thompson, J.J. Peterka, and Ryan McLeod all in the first period. Then Jason Zucker scored in the second, and the Sabres were able to hold on defensively to secure that 4-3 win.
And 3 Bills were representing yesterday at the Pro Bowl games in Orlando. James Cook getting some action during the flag football game. Connor McGovern pushing Peyton Manning for Team AFC during the sled push. And Deion Dawkins putting in the work during the tug of war. And not that the score really matters, but the NFC did come out on top.
Well, right now, a very foggy look at downtown Buffalo. It is 6:51 and 33 degrees. Stay with us. Daybreak will be right back.
Greetings and salutations. It is 6:53 on a Monday, a murky Monday. Yeah, you'll go outside and you're gonna see lots of fog and some. We had the snow yesterday. Then we put a little freezing drizzle over it overnight, so it's kind of got this crust. So it's a little crunchy out there. Today we're gonna get into the 40s with some rain showers this afternoon. Into tonight, the rain will change to snow briefly, maybe a coating to a half an inch or so. And then tomorrow in the 20s. Partly sunny, maybe a few flurries around, okay? So it is quiet out there now after getting that snow yesterday afternoon. It was pretty steady snow, right? This next system is actually a front that's dividing cold to the north, mild to the south, and we're kind of right on the line. We'll be on the warmer side of it by this afternoon, so that as this precipitation arrives, it'll come in the form of rain before slipping south, cooling down, and we'll see a little snow overnight, okay? And that's gonna be kind of the theme this week. We're really close to that dividing line between the cold and the mild, and that's why we're gonna see lots of swings this week. So this afternoon and evening, rain showers roll through, okay? And then overnight tonight, the cooler air arrives, quickly changing the rain to snow briefly. Then tomorrow, we're in more of the cool side of that front, and thus temperatures only in the 20s, maybe a few snow showers or flurries, I should say. And we'll go from the 40s today with a few afternoon rain showers to the 20s for highs tomorrow with maybe a few snow showers. Then it begins to warm up again on Thursday, and that could lead to some ice, okay? This is Wednesday night. The next system approaches. Here's the morning commute. It could be snow initially. It will transition to rain. In between, we may get a few hours of sleet or freezing rain. That's for Thursday morning for the morning rush. So this is something to watch. And then that ice would change to rain as the day goes on because temperatures begin to warm again, only to cool off again by the weekend and bring snow. So lots going on. Okay. Cloudy, drizzle today, some light rain late. Tonight, 25, rain to snow, a quick coating or a little more maybe. It won't be much. Tomorrow, cooler. Same for Wednesday. There's the ice potential Thursday morning, changing to rain. Cooler on Friday, trending towards snow for the weekend. There may be a temperature situation again where it could mix over to some ice or even a little rain, then back to snow. This is something to watch for the weekend, okay? But it's certainly getting cooler again. For the south towns in the southern tier, a few snow showers tomorrow, a little ice Thursday morning, dry on Friday, and then we'll see that chance for some snow this weekend. Super Bowl Sunday.
So Sunday should be a good day to sit inside
and not watch
football.
I know
Does anyone actually want to watch?
I keep saying I'm not, but you know you're just gonna. Okay.
For the commercials.
There you go.
The Puppy Bowl. All right. Thanks for joining us for Daybreak. Our news continues at WGRZ.com.